The biggest news of the week, of course, is that OpenAI is bailing on Sora. In fact, the original guest we had before we invited Shelley was the director of the upcoming OpenAI Sora movie, Critters, Nick Kleberoff. But I guess he got put on the don't talk to the press list.
No fly zone.
I'm sad. I like Sora. I thought they were competitive. I thought their social media app was exactly the right idea. Take that AI slop and give it its own social media platform. But I guess it just, with everybody jumping into cinematic AI, it probably just felt to OpenAI like a big investment with no real payoff, given the density and number of competitors and the inroads that they are making into Hollywood. I mean, we just had Ben Stiller getting $900 million from Netflix for his custom movie-making AI tool. So
yeah, it's not Ben Stiller. It's Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway,
Ben Stiller is doing bagel AI. It's the most incredible bagel AI ever made.
Sorry.
Guys, isn't it weird if OpenAI is trying to conquer the world of consumer, not having a video app, not having your YouTube, your Instagram, your TikTok? That's kind of an odd move. Is it signaling that going to be some other kind of company than what we think?
I just think it's signaling that media is a very unhealthy business and it's data intensive. It doesn't deliver the kind of returns that a Sam Altman and all of his minions are expecting, and they are, they're cutting bait. If we remember the years of Facebook Watch, and they tried a similar thing, obviously pre-AI generated, but they cut bait. Like they decide things don't work and they bail, which kind of makes sense.
It's they torched the Disney deal along the way.
Yes, $1 billion.
That's a lot of bridges you're burning, guys. That's a lot of bridges you're burning. All those fans, and you're burning a great company. That's like, that's not a nonchalant thing to just shut that down.
Yeah, except Disney's none the worse for wear because they didn't actually pay the $1 billion. They just it's like when you make a donation to a charity and you make a pledge and then
if I were Disney, I'd make the investment because they're going public at the end of the year and they would get a nice multiple on the $1 billion. Right. If they have it laying around, I don't know why they didn't go forward with that part. Disney is also in bed with Fortnite, which is supposedly Epic Games is making the Disney metaverse.
Yeah, but they're really struggling now, Fortnite. They're losing audience. Tim Sweeney just cut, 1,000 jobs from Epic, which is a pretty rare move for Epic. And pretty overt about, Fortnite's not doing what Fortnite used to be doing, and they're losing money. So they're cutting back.
The other big tech news this week is that Google and Meta lost their lawsuit. As you remember, an individual sued them for mental health reasons and claimed they were harmed by the active, addictive construction of both apps. Now, significant also is that Meta lost a similar lawsuit in New Mexico at the same time. So now, let's recall that TikTok absolutely went and settled with the plaintiffs, right? They didn't want any part of this lawsuit or being investigated. Right? So this is Meta and Google for YouTube, going it alone, where the other social media companies have said, you know what, this is not a battle we want to fight.
I'm curious on Roni's opinion on this because I have an opinion about this, which may be a little contradictory to my typical stance. I'm curious, Roni, where you think about these lawsuits succeeding.
Well, I want to hear your contradictory to Ted first. That's it. That's super interesting.
My contradictory is, I am no fan of wasting time on social media, right? And I am no fan of this kind of illusionary, put your best sort of artificial life up on social media. I don't think it's real. I think it's wasteful and I think it's harmful. So I actually agree with the lawsuit from that perspective. What I don't agree with is that we require a lawsuit for people to be self-responsible, turn the channel.
I was going to say that. Right? Where is personal responsibility in all this?
Yes. So I find it a little troubling that I fall on the side of a Meta or a Google on the side of, you know what? You don't like it? I agree. You don't have to use it.
Again, we're not suing companies that make liquor.
Right. Well, I guess we did cigarettes. We sued but even that, you know what? Certainly public spaces, but personal responsibility is what it is.